Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning, everyone.
Chair Palmer.
Chair Palmer.
We got 2 more minutes, according to my clock.
I was thinking the other day, I kind of missed Frog.
Yeah.
Funny you mentioned that, Randy. You and I should have a conversation soon.
Okay.
I have a thing that says, please ask the host to give you permission to record.
Just say, hit yes.
It doesn't give me that option. It says close.
I think you can just hit close.
Perfect. Recording should be in progress.
Yeah, I got the thing that said recording in progress once you got it.
Okay, I got 10 o'clock. Let's get started. So we're here for the budget subcommittee meeting on Thursday, February 9th. How do we feel about this agenda?
Approve. I move to approve.
Thank you, Karen.
Okay, I second.
Okay. I guess we're all in favor of that, so let's get started. So we need to discuss, it should go fairly quickly because I don't think that there's anything real contentious. We need to discuss the possible increase for the fair for the racing secretary for the fair meets, a possible rate increase, salary increase. So, you know, I read this and I was like, yeah, I think we're underpaying him. Anyone have any other opinion?
Well, first of all, I don't know how much they get paid, and I don't know what a racing secretary does. You know, I'm new on this block, so.
Okay,
Do they
Connie?
run
Yeah,
everything all day long?
tried to email you back. I'm sorry, I was in the middle of getting ready. I didn't see your email that came in earlier. So a short answer is, and Rod can probably make this much more eloquent than me, but the short answer is they are the master event planner for the horse race.
Mhm.
Rod, do you want to add a little color to that?
To chime in on that, just a racing secretary works in the race off, and so previous to race days, they take all the entries for the horses that are going into each race. And then they qualify each horse to make sure that it's going into the correct race on the correct day, so on and so forth. So there's a staff of 3 or 4 people. The racing secretary leads that staff in getting all of those horses in the right races with the right number, and then they do a draw, which they draw for position. And he's in charge of working with everybody to draw for position of those races. And then on race days, he also coordinates the races, calls the races to get the horses ready for the races on race day themselves. So he works about 4 days a week doing that. And then he also creates what's called a condition book. And that's the types of races that are going to be available to the horsemen. And he does that ahead of time. He usually writes one previous to the races, and sometimes there's another book that he writes during the races. And then he correlates that with the types of horses that are in the races. And if he needs separate races or different races, then he writes extra races in order to get us to at least an 8 race card.
Okay, so they pretty much run things.
Yes, on the backside.
And what are we paying
Right.
him? What are we paying him currently? $800 a day?
We've been paying him $800 a day. Last year, we actually paid his housing as well.
Mhm.
He would like $1,000 a day, and his housing continued to pay. I think we can do the housing without a problem. I would like to contingently approve this with the expectation that we can find the extra savings for it.
Or do we need to take it from someplace?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because, because we're talking, how much money are we talking?
3,600 for this. for the
Okay,
rest.
so we take it from, sorry, gentlemen, from some of the hub requests that they have. I don't know.
Or we just ask the associations if they can cover the 3,600 for them.
Okay. Yeah, you guys know better than I on this, so.
Wait, what do you think, Randy? And I mean,
So do the associations have any?
Well, I mean, 3,600 isn't a killer. Well, we can, if that's the way it needs to go, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about that.
So we'll cover it if we can, and if we can't,
Yeah,
then
you
we'll
go
may
cover
reach
what's
out to
We
you.
only cover part of it, just whatever it takes, whatever it
Okay.
takes, no problem.
yeah, I
We'll
think that's
just weigh
really
in and say, the important piece of this that, that doesn't get mentioned is, in this case, John, he knows the horses. He knows our local horses. He knows our local horsemen. So a lot of times there's races that just wouldn't happen. And we wouldn't make our 8 race card if it wasn't for his ability to reach out individually to horsemen and say, can you do this for me? Even though I know you didn't want to enter this horse, would you do it just to help us out? And so there's a lot of interpersonal, relationships that go into this. And having said that, I will tell you, among horsemen, the only 2 thankless jobs are racing secretary and stallman.
It shovels the dog for the poop. Well, I think I could agree. We could raise it to the $200 to whatever the budget can afford, the current budget. And then if there is a need to get some additional funds, then we can ask the racing associations to split it.
Yeah, I think that's great, Commissioner Dougherty. I think that's a responsible thing to do.
Okay,
And so that's what I move if we need a motion.
I second that.
okay. We will present that tomorrow at the, or not tomorrow, next week. Yeah, at the regular meeting. Okay, on to the second. Discuss the association hub program request for the remainder of, I'm gonna put these next 2 together. For the remainder of the 2021-23 biennium and also for the 23-25 biennium. And I'm putting them together because basically everyone's agreed what the split is, right? I don't hear any dissension in the ranks out there.
Oh,
So 30% for HR.
Oh, we lost-
and OHBPA and 20% each for OTOPA. Are we here? Hello?
You blanked out for a second. You-
Okay.
For the
Well,
record,
yeah, but-
please repeat that.
That could just be that could be normal. And then 20% for OTOBA and OQHRA. Any discussion on this? I mean, they've agreed, so I don't see why we shouldn't.
Nope.
Nope.
Sounds
And no
good.
one, no, okay, so we will also present that next week at the regular meeting. And then the last thing on the agenda is HB 2992, change to the commission compensation. Do you want to give a brief history of the world on this, Karen or Connie?
I will, and Karen, please feel free to jump in because we've had a change to this. I put this on the agenda because before my time, there was a change, and Karen, you can correct me. HB 2992 came out requiring that people in certain incomes make a higher amount than what they have been making. And it also indicates that a commission may choose to give all commissioners that amount. Now, we never had a formal vote on that, and we did not have a formal policy or put it in rule. So this is an opportunity for us to do so. Since said time, when I brought this up and decided to put this on the agenda, our legal counsel came to me and said, oh, wait, you can't do anything. We need to make sure it's okay in your rules and statutes. With that said, I've gone over our rules and statutes and I can't see anything that would prohibit it. And I have sent that to legal counsel. So if she has a concern with it, I'm sure she'll let us know on or before our commission meeting.
What is the bill number?
The
HB 2992.
Because 2992 is actually relating to in-network healthcare providers, according to
It-
OLA.
last time around,
Oh, so it was this 2 sessions ago.
2021, yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense.
And I thought we sent it to you. If you did not get a copy of that, I will mail that, have that mailed to you.
Yeah, if you could, I'd appreciate it.
Great.
All
So
right,
we were receiving $30 a day, correct, in the past,
Correct.
plus travel expenses when we were traveling.
Correct.
And somewhere along the line in the last 2 years, that changed. I think it should be more because I think it would attract people to the Racing Commission as commissioners, because the $30 a day certainly isn't a large reward. Not that we're looking for rewards here. The presence, being in your company is reward enough. But I think my only gripe, and this is just my gripe, is that nobody ever said anything. There wasn't an email. I didn't hear anything about this. I'm sure Margaret didn't because she wasn't in the group. I don't know if Connie and Karen knew about it, but
Karen, do you want to address that?
Jeff, I believe he was handling it and he did send an email, but I don't know if everyone got it.
no. Well, I didn't. I just got the raise, which was fine. So,
Yeah.
so we just need to make sure that when things are happening, which I'm sure now it's changed, but we need to make sure that we've reached out to everybody.
Yeah, and I think when that happened, because of the way that it came out of Salem, is that the agency could just decide to do it, and he felt like it was the right thing to do. So he didn't ask.
Well, it's not a matter of asking,
And
it's a matter of
that's why
informing.
you didn't hear, but he should have still notified you that, oh, your check is going to be bigger.
Right. So
And-
what are we receiving now? I've just cashed the checks
151.
Okay.
Per meeting.
per meeting.
Well,
Unless you've
let's
opted out.
rephrase that, per day of service. So you could do 2 or 3 meetings in one day, but so each
Okay.
day that you serve, it's, yeah.
And I've never kept track of that. Someone else does that for me. Nope, I think we froze. I've never kept track of that. Someone else does that for us, right? Yes. Karen shaking her head.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Margaret,
Well,
you
I
have
don't-
any?
Yeah, I don't take it, but it appears that that's the same per diem that they pay legislators per day.
That's
they're-
exactly what it was based on, is a per diem for legislators.
Actually, I found the
And so is it,
2020 for their session. So you don't have to send it.
so, and we don't have to be making under a certain amount of money in our other businesses?
Well, and that's a question that the legal was saying, but based on what we have seen, it looks like it's, for Oregon, it's up to us, but
Okay.
our legal counsel, who wants to make sure we're on board, wanted to double check our statutes and rules to make sure there wasn't anything that prohibited it.
Okay,
Well,
I
it's-
personally have gone through our statutes and rules and could not find anything that prohibited it.
well, there
not a
there is.
lawyer.
I'm looking at the bill right now, and there is a cap. In other words, if you make X amount of dollars, you qualify to get
Right.
per diem.
So the way that it was written is you have to give that amount if you have that, but a commission may choose to give that amount. That's what I'm trying to find out. I'll send that to you later today, and we'll get more from our attorney, I'm sure.
okay.
I mean, I
So
don't
as
take,
far as, so we don't need to agree to a pay increase?
I think if someone makes under a certain amount, we're required to pay it. I think that's part of that.
That is.
So if you make under a certain level, I think it's 50,000 or something,
50,000.
then the agency is required to pay it. If you make over that threshold and then again over another threshold, then it becomes a may,
Okay.
the agency
You
may-
could decline it, yeah.
And you can decline, yes.
Yeah, so it's a joint income is 100,000. So
So what does Charlie want us to do here today, Connie?
This was brought up by me. I think what we do is, if we all agree, I think there's two issues here. Number one, if we all agree that that's an appropriate amount to be paying to attract good commissioners, which has been a problem for us, then provided there's not a legal reason not to, we recommend to the committee, to the full commission, that either, personally, I just as in put in rule. I've noticed other commissions, such as the nursing board, has it in their rule. We put in rule or policy, but I think it's better to put in rule.
That's
okay.
easier to change? Is that, I'm sorry, I think I froze there for a minute. Is that easier to change, a rule versus a policy?
A policy is easier to change.
Okay,
And I like to get the legal opinion, because just reading this, it looks like we don't set it, that it's based on something that the legislature sets, but I don't know.
Yeah, and again, so we've already know that we're gonna get a legal opinion on it, so that's a first step at this point.
so maybe
Interesting.
we don't address this, we'll just put in our summary that we discussed it and we're waiting for a legal opinion.
Perfect.
Because the bill relates to certain public entities, and I'm not quite sure, whether they have the definition, but anyway, if we would just wait for the legal opinion on that one, because I'm not quite sure what
I agree.
Okay, that's what we'll
well,
do.
I had to go through and see whether it passed.
It did pass. I actually sent you the
That did pass.
actual statute.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, so, okay,
So more fun stuff.
yeah.
Okay, so
But we-
any public comment here? No, no one has a public comment?
I would like to say one more thing. I'm just gonna do a summary, pretty much exactly what I sent to you
Yeah.
on the money, and then send it to the other commissioners in advance
Yeah.
of the next meeting,
Yeah, but you'll send it to me so I can proof it quick.
prior to sending it to anyone else.
Okay, great. You don't want me to, I'm happy to write it.
I'll send you what I have and you can fix it.
Okay. I'm sure it does need fixing. All right, everyone. Well, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Great, let's get out there, enjoy the sun. Get some vitamin
Thank you. We'll
D.
see you guys next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.